with power, but already people that are operating are already seeing a new sheriff in town and saying that, look, we cannot continue with this, with the previous exploitative tendency. You know, before now, Nigerians have been...
When would the plans?
The sheriff is taking too long, isn't it?
Pardon me?
When would the plans come forth? Or are we still planning to plan?
We are not planning to plan. We are planning to...
Okay, you're still planning.
We are planning to make it better. See,
Mr. Pataki, just to clarify.
Yes.
You're still planning? Or the plan is done?
The plan is on ground to be able to improve the power situation of the nation. You see, let me tell you something. Before this government came into power, and the days before then, we were trying to get from the MDGs, from the ministries, from all of them, get from their input into our plans to be able to, knowing that government is a continuum, but unfortunately, the Jonathan administration did not do it like that for us. It was until we got into government that we are coming to see this. Look at, for instance, NNPC. Was it not until we got into government that we saw that in the last 4 years that NNPC made 8 trillion naira and only paid 3.5 trillion, and only paid 4-point-something trillion and kept 3.5 trillion to itself? It was when we got into government that we found out that the Jonathan administration kept that, made it opaque to us.
Yeah, but Mr. Fasiki,
so it was not possible for us to be able to understand that until we came into government, that that we're able to see that, oh, that was why they didn't want to cooperate in the first place.
Tell us also what you saw having come into government. For instance, now we've had people call saying, look, the prices of foodstuff in the market is going higher, and then look at the Naira, for instance. What is the policy thrust about arresting those kind of situations? Because that's what people face on a regular basis.
I agree with you. The economics of it is that this is an import-dependent country. It's been like that. When you are not a producing nation and you devalue your currency, what you are inexorably asking for is hyperinflation.
Yeah, but who does the president...
Do you understand me? It's hyperinflation.
Who are the people, the economists or the council he's consulting with about this challenge?
So, you see, let me tell you, you have the central bank that is in charge of enunciating the monetary policies in the nation. So, the central bank, is in the best position to be able to explain to the nation what they have done with our monetary policy so far, that we now have this kind of situation.
The central bank doesn't work alone. The central bank is supposed to work in conjunction with the finance ministry, which has the duty of initiating what the fiscal policy should be. But as it stands, we're still in a conundrum as to where exactly the fiscal policy of this administration is going. The fact that, you have, aside not having the president, minister of finance, but you also have permanent secretaries, civil servants there. Ministers are political. Is the president going to appoint ministers?
Of course, the president is going to appoint ministers. So but of course, you see, the thing is, we are in the process of seeing which ministries to be merged. What's the point in appointing ministers? And tomorrow, you now have to sack the minister because his ministry has been merged to another ministry.
So there will be merging ministries.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So you need to understand this, the policy thrust. These are things that are not done in a hurry. The previous administrations that did it in a hurry, before now, we know where it has landed us. The other time, we took $12 billion of Nigerian money and we used it to pay some creditors. And we know where it has landed us as a nation.
Two things now. Well, what do you say to those lawyers who are talking about the fact that, look, appointing service chiefs in acting capacity shouldn't be? The Senate ought to confirm them first and foremost, and then they go on and function.
Yeah, yes, the law is clear on that. I mean, I know some things were trending on the social media about the Senate president making a comment that, Senate confirmation is not needed for service chiefs, but I think, some other lawyers, some other legal minds have differed from that position, that look, Senate confirmation is needed, for before the service chiefs can function, in their new position, and that was exactly what the president said. He said he has only announced their position, that they only function in acting capacity pending when the Senate confirms them.
Okay, but this last one, wherein it was also said that of all the appointments made so far, a very large percentage comes from a section of the country. You heard that as well.
I have heard that. I have heard that. And what you need to understand clearly is that for about a few years now, Nigeria has been in a big conundrum. It has been in a kind of, what you might say, emergency. Some of the positions have been maybe security-based positions, like the new director of SSS.
You don't have
that. Let me say something. Let me make this point. When people now look at, he has appointed somebody to help quickly reorganize that outfit. That outfit that is supposed to churn out proper intelligence, as a veritable input.
Is that why you have a lot of percentage from a section of the country?
See, let me tell you, like when you have emergency, you see the problem with us, and I know this, yes, federal character and that kind of way, but federal character is not talking about at the expense of, throwing away national, expediency.
So you should throw away federal character.
No, not that. Nobody is saying that throw away. Look at the latest appointment now of service chiefs. Excuse me, listen. The chief of defense staff is from Ekiti State. That's from the south. The chief of naval staff is from Cross River State. That's from the south. So that's also, taking into consideration the aspect of federal character. But you look at the fact that listen, let me finish making this point, Chamberlain. The chief of, the chief of army staff is from Borno. It's just akin to what Abraham Lincoln did when he, at the outbreak of the American War. Right. The Americans were fighting the South, and Robert Lee was like one of the best generals at that time. He first offered the position to Robert Lee. From that,
right, Mr.
it was when Robert Lee, refused that he threw it to some other. So it is national emergency.
Thank you very much.
Let us throw away some of the, hold in abeyance some of our understanding of these things for a while.
Thank you for coming on today, Mr. Fashaki. We'll be back. We've got another matter also waiting to be focused on, so don't go away yet.